Alright, what's up? How's it going here? Uh, Today I'm going to be reacting to Landscapes of the Four Seasons from 1486 by Sesshū Tōyō. Uh, he's a Japanese artist, and this is my first, as far as I can tell, non-oil on canvas. This is actually ink on paper, and we're breaking down boundaries here, because sure, I did the reaction to a marble sculpture, marble monument before, but that's different. This is we're really starting to get somewhere now, and I'm excited for this, and I'm happy for this, because I need to expand the horizons of my paintings, of the paintings that I react to, and this is Japanese. I mean, I don't know. I'd associate pictures that look like this with Japan, but maybe that's just me. Where to start? Now, this painting bothers me a little bit because there is color, but it's insanely faint. It's very hard to tell if you're not really paying attention that there's color. But if you sort of like look away and sort of phase out, you might be able to really notice it. But just looking at it, you just assume that your eyes are playing tricks on you and that you're really looking at some black and white. So, first off the bat, this was painted on, I guess, a hand scroll, and you can see that over here. Yikes. Okay, well, no. Alright, this isn't working. Alright. Over here, you can see there's little marks right here where, oh no. Oh my. What have I done? Okay. Alright, this will be fine. This will be fine. I'll fix this. But anyway, this this is definitely an interesting painting. As you can see, it's depicting a long line of people. Sort of, you can see over here a line of people going into a house, and this appears to be taking place at the base of some sort of large mountain. And you can see that there are a lot of an adjective that comes to mind when viewing this painting is geometric, because you can see there's a lot of shapes in this. You can sort of see here like a lot of jagged straight line, well, not truly straight, but very sharp lines, and that's especially pronounced up here with these little trees coming off the cliff and the lines of these houses. And interestingly enough, I wouldn't yeah. So this sort of sets an interesting little scene. You sort of wonder. I mean, I'm not all too knowledgeable on 15th century Japan, but you're sort of thinking, what sort of town structure is this? Like, there are just a bunch of buildings here, relatively distant from each other, among a bunch of rocks. Like, is this a town? Is this is this like an entire village, and then these people are just here for whatever reason? Because this seems like an awful lot of people to be in such a small and excuse me, presumably remote town. See, a lot of questions, not a lot of answers, unless you want to go out and do some research. And apparently Sesshū Tōyō is a pretty famous artist, but I've never really heard of him before. But that's certainly interesting to know. Maybe I'll have to. I do like this work a bit, so maybe I'll come back to it later again. But the faint use of color, even if it is a bit annoying, it's definitely annoying. But it gives this a little bit of edge to it. This painting makes it a little bit interesting, because maybe you can say, huh, wait, is there color here, or is this just like faded paper, or is this just scroll? And am I just seeing things, or is it the illusion of color, or is it really color? And I feel like that's that certainly something to be said about this painting. See a lot of different types of trees here. This one is clearly its own type of tree, just as this one is different. This one's a lot more jagged, sort of has like some little red berries or maybe tiny leaves on it. And this one sort of has some more spiky leaves, whereas this one has, these leaves sort of are drawn like little upside down text smiley faces with the parenthesis and colon, but upside down. So it's sort of interesting, I guess you could say, the use of little emoticons, not in like the current sense of the word, but just like little repeated shapes to convey a sense of like to be conveying something else. Didn't explain that well, but the repeated use of this little shape makes it, if you just saw that once, you'd be like, huh, that's weird. But seeing it multiple times, it gives it a sort of meaning, like, okay, so these are leaves. Just as over here, these sort of smeared. There are a lot of different types of trees in this painting. It's pretty neat. These are even probably different too, just as these are, but I can't get all too far into that. But just like how over here it looks rather smeared, as opposed to here where it's pretty. There's the green background, but on top of it, it's the consistent upside down smiley faces. And there's some interesting stuff for me, at least, because I'm wondering what he's attempting to depict with these little dots right here, and these little dots here, and all these dots here. They're definitely not people, because these are the people. And I didn't even really get into the people, but if I had to assume, I'd just say these are all peasants, because they're living in this remote town and just sort of milling around. I suppose these guys are paying each other respects, but I'm not sure. And what we may have over here is a little river coming through, but I'm not sure how valid that is, because where would that be leading? A really interesting use of just shapes here. Very okay. Yeah, very dull colors. Very. I feel like my calling it geometrical just feels very right. And there's no signature on this painting, unfortunately, but we can see sort of the aging that's gone on. And maybe this was once, like, long ago, before we had photographs to pick cameras to take photographs of this. Maybe once long ago this was very bright. But thank you very much for watching this reaction to Landscapes of the Four Seasons from 1486 by Sesshū Tōyō. I appreciate your viewership. Thank you very much for watching.